welcome back to my channel. I am so happy you're here. We're gonna pick my April TBR together today. It is Sunday night. I don't have any plans right now and I haven't done a TBR video in a few months, so I thought we're gonna do one today. I'm gonna pick my TBR with my TBR jargon. I have a few prompts in this and we're just blindly gonna pick some. I've been in a pretty big reading mood lately, so I think we're gonna pick a couple of more than usually. I'm also currently doing the Throne of Glass tandem read, and each book has over 800 pages, so that's gonna take a while. And I'm also currently reading Powerless by Laura Roberts, so I already have these 3 books on my TBR. With all of those, I'm just at the start of the book, at around like 50-ish pages, so I do have quite a lot to read still. But I still want to switch it up because these are like heavy, at least for my fantasy level, these are heavy fantasy books. So hopefully we're gonna get a few prompts for like quick and easy reads. So let's pick our first prompt. This is always so exciting. I should make TBR videos more often. A book I can finish in a day. So we're already off to a great start. I think I'm gonna pick a few prompts and then look for books that are on my TBR, because I now have a TBR card, a TBR shelf, and I also have some TBR books in my bedroom. So we're just gonna pick the prompts first and then look for books to read. So let's pick the second prompt. A graphic novel. I rarely read graphic novels, but I usually really enjoy them. A book with 312 to 345 pages. That's kind of a random prompt. A book set in a coffee shop. Let's do like 2 more maybe. A book with a season in the title. And then for our last prompt, a book with a 1-word title. I'm honestly really happy with those prompts because, like I said, I would like to read some easy and quick reads to take my mind off of those fantasy books I'm currently reading. So these prompts are pretty much perfect. We're gonna go over to my shelves and see which books we're gonna pick for the prompts. I feel like the lighting is kind of creepy here, but we're gonna work with it. For the first prompt, which was a book I can read in a day, I'm gonna read a KU book. I'm gonna read The Housemaid's Wedding by Freida McFadden. This is a short story actually. It only has 86 pages, so I can definitely read it within a day. It's a short story in the Housemaid series, and I just read the 3rd and I think final part of that series. So I definitely also have to read the short story. I don't want to go into too much detail about this book because it's a part of a thriller series and I feel like you can really easily spoil thrillers. This is about the wedding of the 2 main characters, kind of, in the series. They get to know each other in the 2nd book, and then in the 3rd book they're already married for a couple of years and have had children. So this is like supposed to close the gap between those 2 books. And of course there's also a thriller-ish incident that happens at that wedding, because apparently someone wants to kill the female main character just before her wedding. And it's gonna be a very quick read, so I'm very excited for that. I don't have any graphic novels on my physical TBR, so I just looked up graphic novels on Kindle Unlimited, and I think I'm gonna read The Secret Garden by Hannah Lüchtefeld. But this is about 10-year-old Mary who arrives at this secluded estate, and there are like a few mysteries about that place. There are like rumors that there's a midnight whale that echoes across the moors at night, and Mary starts to explore this estate. And I think it's supposed to be like really whimsical and enchanting, and I think it just looks really cute. In general, I feel like those whimsical kind of books are perfect for spring. I feel like it's gonna be pretty easy to find a book with 312 to 345 pages. Like I said, I feel like spring is a perfect time for whimsical books. So we're gonna see how many pages Emily Wilde has. Okay, so this actually has 315, so I could read this. And I think I am. I'm really in the mood to read fairy tale-ish kind of books. And I've also had this on my TBR for a pretty long time, so it's time to finally read it. Then the next prompt was a book with a season in the title. I'm not sure if I have one on my physical TBR. I have Billy Summers by Stephen King, but technically that's a last name and not the season. So I'm not sure if that would count. I completely forgot that I have this, and it's honestly perfect for this prompt. But I'm gonna read Sinister Spring by Agatha Christie. First of all, this book is stunning. I also have the autumn version of this, which I also still haven't read yet. I'm not sure if this is a collection of short stories. It says murder and mystery from the queen of crime. With spring comes April showers and blossoming fields, but wickedness is never far from the surface. With the turning of the year, Hercule Poirot, Jane Marple, Tommy and Tuppence, and many more of Agatha Christie's unforgettable creations tangle with a season of sinister schemes and perilous crimes. Okay, so it's one story, I think. It's also a pretty short book. It only has just over 200 pages, but it obviously has a season in the title, and it's perfect for spring because it's a book about spring. So I'm very excited to finally pick this up. The next prompt we have is a book with a one-word title. I think this shouldn't be too hard. We're gonna see what options I have. We could read Daydream. I also still haven't read Wildfire, so maybe I should read Wildfire before reading Daydream. I also have Flock, Legendborn, but I think I'm not gonna read that one because I do have a few fantasy books right now, so I think I shouldn't put more to that list. I also still have Babel on my list, but the same as with Legendborn, I think I'm not capable of reading any more fantasy right now. I have decided to read Wildfire by Hannah Grace because I've had this on my TBR for quite a while, and this takes place at a summer camp, I think, so hopefully it's gonna make me really excited for spring and summer. I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion, but I did really enjoy Icebreaker, so I am excited for Wildfire. I have heard mixed reviews about this, and even though you don't have to read these books in order, I still want to read Wildfire before reading Daydream. So we're gonna read Wildfire. And then the last prompt was a book set in a coffee shop. I first thought of Bookshops and Bone Dust, but I think just the first book took place in a coffee shop. I think this doesn't have to do anything with coffee shops, unfortunately, because I was really excited to read this. I just looked through my entire TBR, but I think I don't have a book set in a coffee shop on my physical TBR, so I'm gonna read The Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Qureshi. I've seen this book in the bookstore, and I've been about to pick it up a couple of times, but I somehow never did. But I just placed a hold on Libby, and it just looks like the cutest book ever. It's a cozy romantic fantasy, and I think it's basically like those cat cafes, just in this book it's with baby dragons. So it's a dual POV grumpy sunshine cozy fantasy. Also fake dating. They apparently pretend that they're married. It's set in a small town, and it has baby dragons in it, so it does sound perfect. I'm really excited to read this. I may buy the physical copy of it, but we're gonna see. Right now it says that I have to wait 7 weeks for it to be ready to borrow, but usually it doesn't take that long. So these are the physical books I'm gonna read, and then I'm also gonna read 3 books on my Kindle. These are all pretty short books and also very fun books, so I'm really excited for April to come. Let me know in the comments what books you're planning to read in April. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!